Scent is something that's very important to these kokanee because they're actively feeding. They have several months before they reach the spawning ground, so they're trying to get bigger before the warm water of the summer comes. In that case, we need to be very attentive in our bait prep. Now, there are a lot of different ways you can make different scents and flavors for these kokanee, but for the most part, it's fairly simple. You try not to overcomplicate it. In fact, the best thing that was ever described to me as whenever you're trying to get your bait ready, whether it's for kokanee, salmon, steelhead, any fishery, is that do you want ketchup on your French fries or on your burger? Absolutely. Do you want the whole bottle of ketchup on your burger? Not a chance. So we want to be mindful not to overdo any of these scents. These fish can smell very well, but we don't want to give them too much of any one flavor. We can always add, we can't take away. So first, let's start with our base. You simply want shoe peg corn straight out of the can, any type of sweet corn, avoid the cream corn. And then we want to toughen up our corn just a little bit. And for that, we're going to use this Kokanee Killer Corn Magic, which is just essentially a dry brine. It's a salt-based cure, and that's going to toughen up our corn so that way it stays on our hook longer. Now, can we catch fish without corn on our hooks? Absolutely, but this will help us make sure that that corn stays on the hook longer, so if a fish comes up and swipes at it, it doesn't rip the corn off right away. They might get another fish in the school to come around and come over and eat what's left on the hooks. This is salt-based, but also has a lot of bite stimulants, so we're going to add just a wee bit. Now, in most cases, using a little bit of UV will be good because we're fishing deep water. These are definitely sight-based fish. They have large eyes. They are a sockeye salmon, so we want to grab their attention from far away, especially in this clear water. There are some times where you get very flat, calm water in a high sun where UV can be a little bit too much, especially if the fish are up shallow and getting pushed around by those Mackinaw. But 9 times out of 10, adding some UV will definitely help. Next, just a little bit of sweet corn. Not too much of this. Obviously, we already got a corn base, but it's never bad having more corn scent. So next, we're going to add some fish nip. Now, this was a bait that was produced primarily for salmon fishing, but the idea behind it is to replace canned tuna. Now, in canned tuna, what happens is they cook the fish up. That's how it gets that seal on the can, and what that does is it takes a lot of the oils and flavor and scent out of the meat. What this is here is a tuna-based bait that has a lot of different oils in it and bite stimulants that has not been cooked. So that means that the smell is going to last longer and be a more pure scent. So we're going to add that to both of these because anytime you add any type of tuna to your corn, it's going to help. Tuna is a very oily, heavy scent flavor that almost every species will key in on. You can see straight out of the package, just looking at my gloves, all that oil that's coming out of this essentially fresh tuna meat. This is going to give our corn a lot of great flavor. So let's add a little bit to both containers here now. There we go. Fish nip has been added. And you can tell one package goes a long ways. I can probably make about 6, 8 different containers of corn. So one package can last you a whole week. Okay, next. I'm going to make 2 different flavors here because you never know what flavor these fish are going to key in on. I want to keep in mind that we don't want to add too much of any of these scents. Again, we can always add, we can't take away. So let's start here with our cure on the right. Now this one is going to be mainly based on krill and shrimp flavors, just real natural with the tuna, not going to add much to it. The one on the left is going to be my heavy scent, a lot of anise, a lot of tuna, not just from the fish nip, but from the oils. Lots of different flavor, and I'm also going to add some color to it as well to give it a different look and a different smell. This first one, very simple. Water-soluble fish oil krill, some krill powder, and krill oil. Simple. Now that this one's all done, I'm going to just simply throw the lid on, shake it up, then put it in the fridge, let it soak overnight so this corn can absorb all those flavors. This one again is going to be my heavy scent. I'm going to add a lot of color to it, a lot of different flavors. If the fish are being a little bit finicky or just want that heavy, thick, oily scent to it, this is going to be the cure that's going to work. So we're going to add the fish oil shrimp, the tuna, some anise, which can work very well for kokanee, some pink powder here, and then of course some super sauce kokanee flavor. Okay, that one's all flavored up. Now, put the lid on this one as well. Shake it up, get it all mixed up. Now I have 2 different flavors of corn for these kokanee to key in on. My very natural, very clean scent with the shrimp and krill, a little bit of corn. And then my heavy scent with a lot of color, the tuna and Anna's in here to hopefully get these fish's attention from a long ways away, and especially here early season in this colder water. I got a feeling this one's gonna do a bit better tomorrow, but we're gonna let the fish decide. Tomorrow morning is gonna come soon, so we're gonna go ahead and get some gear ready, talk with Scott, get the boat squared away, and set the alarm clock for O Dark 30.